if you give me a moment to vent, a moment to breathe. There are so many things in my head that my brain cannot conceive. A moment to explain, a moment to digest, a moment to just get some things off my burning chest. I have heard and seen so much pain. I've watched my people cry and break from going insane. So much injustice, it burns you to the core, watching brothers dying because their validness was ignored. Shot down on pavements like they were participants in a game, watching the killer gain pages of fame. Maybe he's ill, maybe he's temporarily insane. Any excuse to throw at the law to avoid a white man being blamed. Watch back in silence because the government do not care. Watch on the news communities gather as they try to repair. Police turn a blind eye as we shout and scream, with our only hope being that this story is seen. Hoping a celebrity or a hashtag has our back, because social media hounding is the only effective attack. Brainwashing used as a tool for psychological warfare. Tear them down till they are stripped bare. Mock them and hate them till they become numb, and then steal their features and knowledge to make your economy income. Still not equal, but do those outside of other honestly care? As long as they have those cool braids in their hair, because it's fashion, because it's cool. But educate yourself on our years of public ridicule. Getting kicked out of school because our braids were once viewed as barbaric. Told not to return because we look too savage. Getting called ghetto and told we don't talk quite right. But then you sit listening to Drake singing, "I'm about that life." Still going to interviews and being frowned upon. Still walking down the streets and being looked down on. Tracksuits and black armour still being deemed as a target, with our brown girls still being stolen and sold on the market. Still being stopped and checked for just being black. God forbid this is ever seen as an attack. Still being paid 3/4 of the amount, but who cares when you're the only beneficiaries of the account? A system set up for you to thrive. For where do you think white privilege derived? Becoming the token for your company's quota, putting us all on your lottery rota, hiring people because they're a little bit black, when the real motive is getting bosses and headlines off your back. Hide the real injustice, cover it in a favour, thinking that our lack of trust will waver. With the roots of colonisation embedded in our brains, watching leaders preach blatantly with hate running through their veins. The police do not protect us. The government rejects us. The ex-president denies our residence, and China puts us in cages, while parts of Africa are still exploiting their people for wages. India and the Caribbean are bleaching, while the KKK are still preaching, reaching, breaching everywhere, with no clear sign of how to repair. The problems are so deep we cannot bear. Imagine living in a world where you are not safe. Imagine living in a world where your colour is viewed as a global disgrace. Told we are free, but how can that be when everywhere we go we are seen as a disease? Coronavirus conspiracies bringing me down to my knees. How can a virus be biased to minorities? The more and more that keeps going round in my mind, the more I search, the more I find all these questions going back and forth in my head. But the one question that keeps coming up is, why is it always our people predominantly dead?